Go ahead.
You always make fun of my intro when I'm like, "Hi guys."
It's all good.
Yeah, so in this video, we wanted to give you guys a couple of things. A pregnancy update, I spat. Our most recent telehealth appointment, which was on the 7th. And what was the last thing?
What update is this? How many weeks are you right now?
Oh, yeah. How many weeks are we?
Yeah.
Because
you don't want to carry the baby.
We are on the 17th of this month. It'll be 8 months. So
8-month pregnancy update. It's crazy. Junior will be here on the 18th.
Of next month.
Of next month. January 2024. It's crazy that we're having a baby on January 18th, 2024. Like, I just spit went everywhere just now. But we just want to give you guys a quick little update as we are approaching the home stretch. You know what I'm saying? So she just had a telehealth appointment the other day. I'm going to let her get into it a little bit, but I'm going to kind of like summarize it based on what I've heard. It was just our, not caretaker. I always forget. What is it called? What is she called again?
They be midwives.
Midwife,
OBG
I said caretaker. We ain't old.
Oh yeah. OB/GYN. That's what you call them.
What was the first one again?
Oh, midwife.
Okay. Yeah. So the telehealth appointment is where or when the midwife kind of tells you like the things that you need to know as you are approaching the home stretch, as you are getting closer and closer toward giving birth. And that's one thing about the midwife. Like, these are kind of like, it's kind of like your business partner in a way. Like, you guys are working together to make sure that everything is successful. And in our case, make sure that we have a successful birth. So you want to fill them in on some of the things you guys were talking about? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of knocked out when she was, giving her all of the information. But I woke up towards the tail end of the online interview, and I started asking her an important question. I asked her one important question, which I'm going to get to after she kind of breaks it down.
Thank you. That appointment was pretty much her the leave paperwork.
Right.
So it's important to make sure you get that handled in advance.
Facts.
Because the processing time takes a few weeks.
Right.
I actually got like pretty frustrated and overwhelmed with that paperwork the other day because you have to work a certain amount of hours to qualify for FMLA. That's where you get paid over the 12 weeks. I think you get paid from your job for FMLA, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't qualify for that because I didn't work I've been at my job for like a year, and I probably would qualify if I worked like a slave every
50
week.
50 hours a week.
Yeah, like full time each week, but I don't. So you have to there's other options if you don't qualify for that. So I got overwhelmed because I was looking at one of the options. There were multiple, and I'm like, is this what I applied for? Do I apply for the other one? Do I qualify for this? And it's just too much. And then when you're trying to contact your clinic, it's like they're talking about my chart to contact them through there. Like, I'm not about to type a whole paragraph about what I need from you. And then it's like, even when they're trying to explain something to you over my chart, I need to talk on the phone or talk to you in person to be able to have a thorough like understanding of this, because this typing and I don't know what I'm doing. My midwife sent me some paperwork that I needed signed and filled out because at our last appointment, if you guys watched that video, it was with a different midwife.
Yeah. I don't think she was a midwife. Oh, she was. Yes, she was.
Whatever she was.
She was just there.
Yeah. She was a substitute. So I tried to give her the paperwork to fill out, but she said Isha, our normal midwife, our usual midwife, would have to fill it out because she knows more about pregnancy and how much time I'm gonna need.
Her personal needs.
Yeah, so I sent those paperworks, slave
those
talk.
Paperworks.
Yeah, sorry.
We be talking like some straight up bums.
I sent that paperwork for Isha to fill out, the checkpoints and all that. She just signed it. Like, what are you doing? Fill out all of the paperwork. So I got so overwhelmed with all of that. So make sure with your leave paperwork, you call who you need to call. And don't give up with that.
Yeah.
There's always a solution.
And another thing I want to say too is that we want to reiterate that we are not trying to slave our lives away and trade our time for a lot of money, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We have our reasons for doing that, and I'm sure you guys have your reasons for wanting to go to work 40 plus hours a week. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I will say, those of you who are choosing that route to work 40 plus hours a week, when you are deciding to have a child, depending on how long you've been at your job, that will work in your favor because you're going to rack up those hours very, very fast. And the reason why it's kind of been not a struggle, but it's been kind of weird for us is because I work as an independent contractor. So obviously I don't get, them leave. I'm just hustling, right? She works a regular W-2, but in order for you to get the traditional leave, you have to work how many hours?
I think it's like over 1,000.
Over 1,000 hours. So that's very hard to do when you're working like part-time. And a lot of these different companies want to keep you at that title so that they don't have to compensate for stuff like leave. So for those of you who have decent jobs, for those of you who have, undecent jobs, like when you're talking about having a child, always remember, keep in the back of your head, like, maybe we can plan this. Maybe I can work my butt off this year at this job, and then next year, after I've racked up that 1,000+ hours, I can like start talking about, a child and have that already planned, have those hours already racked up so that it's not going to be like so much of a process when you are finally trying to just take some time off of work to actually have your child and still be able to make ends meet. Because what we're figuring out is that when you don't have those hours racked up when it comes to these corporations, you have to go through extra corners and all that just to get paid for being pregnant. Whereas a person who's working their butt off, who's racked up those hours, you guys don't have to do that. So in the long run, it will benefit you guys, especially if you're workaholics now. So definitely keep that in mind. That's some free game that you guys can take along before you decide to have a baby so that you can make sure that when you are pregnant, you can have them hours racked up and you can take your leave, still get your money intact, and
Definitely
make it happen.
That's some free game. And also, one thing we have learned about pregnancy is doing stuff in advance.
Facts.
It really does you justice. And
Yeah.
so another piece of free game is if you're having a son, circumcision. That's another thing we talked about at the telehealth appointment. If you have state insurance, most of the time they don't cover the circumcision.
Yeah, they don't.
So we just decided to pay out of pocket for. Well, we didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
but we did have a choice.
Yeah, we do have a choice.
Yeah,
we were planning on using my mom's insurance. We were gonna put little Junior on her insurance so that he can get all of his stuff paid for, which works out in our favor because, as I said in a different video, my mom works for the government and she gets the best type of insurance. Unfortunately, I can't be on there no more because I'm past the threshold age, but Junior can. So if we wanted to get that paid for, we could. But here's the thing about circumcision when it comes to little boys. You want it, the earlier the better. You know what I'm saying? And we don't got time to be waiting weeks at a time for them because it's a process when you get put on somebody's insurance. Like, it takes a little while, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple weeks, but I don't want to wait that long. So what we found out was that the circumcision is only $250. Like, we thought it would actually be more than that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, bro, $250, like, if I gotta put that on a credit card, he gonna get circumcised. Because like, for the women who are watching, which are a lot of you guys watching, like, get your son circumcised because that's very important. I was circumcised, but I used to talk to different dudes, not on that type of time for you weirdos out there. But it's a confidence thing when you don't get your son circumcised when he's young. It's something that they become self-conscious about because your penis is ugly. You know, it's literally a whole bunch of skin wrapped around you. It's like, it's nasty looking. So you want to make sure that you get that done in advance for your child, especially early on, because if you wait too late, it's like cutting off a dog's tail. Like, that's why they tell you when you're trying to dock your dog's tail, like, to do it earlier rather than later, because it's a fragile, it's barely even a bone. But if you try to do that when a dog is like a puppy, that's literally amputating somebody's tail off. That's exactly how it is when it comes to your child. So do it young so that it doesn't hurt as much, if that makes sense. But
unsanitary too.
yeah, it's very unsanitary. Like to be uncircumcised as a man, you gotta wash extra. It's just you don't want that. So make sure that that's a thing. Make sure that's a priority. Like I don't care how we gotta pay for it. It's gonna get done. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And just to add to that, if you're a full-time employee, I don't think you have to worry about
Yeah,
it.
you
Like
don't.
if you have, good insurance and stuff, you don't have to, worry about how you're going to pay for that and stuff. We're not worried about it either. It needs to be done, so it's going to be done.
Facts.
Also note that they don't do it well, we're in Seattle, Washington, and they said they don't do it in hospitals on the day the baby's born anymore for some reason. So I don't want us to have to do it a few weeks after he's born, but we have to do it because they don't do it in the hospital. So
I thought that was kind of stupid. Like you would think that they would just get it over with right then and there. I don't know why they don't do it anymore. Maybe you guys can comment down below and actually give us some game on why they don't do it anymore. But we thought it would make more sense for them just to get it over with right then and there. Cause like I don't want our son to be 2 weeks old and get that done. Granted, 2 weeks old is not that long being alive, but it's like the longer you wait, it's. I don't want our little junior to be in pain. You know what I'm saying?
Aww,
but
me neither.
Yeah, it is what it is. But everything is fine, y'all. Like our baby is healthy. We're healthy. We're gonna be great parents. I'm feeling very, very good about this. We're feeling very good about this. He's in there kicking. I was just telling my homie today when we were working out, like that's the most amazing thing to see in real time, a human being that you co-created with someone growing and kicking and just life. Like I'm just very excited about seeing that. And I told him also this morning, I can't wait to see him. Like she always says that. Like I can't wait to see what he looks like, but this morning just kind of hit me like I can't wait to see what he looks like. Like, is he gonna be light skinned? Is he gonna be dark skinned? Like, I know for a fact he's gonna come out light because that's how all black babies are. Like, all black
some
babies.
Chocolate babies.
I've never seen a baby come out dark skinned. Like every black baby I've ever seen they came out light skinned, and then as time progressed, they started getting their little color. But my cousin, when we were talking this morning, he feels like our child's gonna come out light. He said, I can't even picture you having a dark-skinned child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I hope we have a dark-skinned child. Like, we're very pro-black. And that for our own reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't judge us. We just like our people. You know what I'm saying? I like I just want a dark-skinned baby. It's power in being whatever race that you are. I'm not going to say it's power in being black. If you're white, whatever it may be, right? We ain't gonna get into that. But
That's
be
true.
happy to be who you are, right? I feel like our child being dark skinned or whatever shade of color he is, I'm gonna make him feel powerful. I'm gonna make him feel comfortable in his skin. You know what I'm saying? And if for some odd reason dark skinned individuals, they're not usually the most comfortable in their skin as they should be. I don't know for what reason that is, but if we end up having a little, we know what reason it is, but we ain't gonna get into that.
This is not our content is not pro-black content.
We ain't pro-black. All of that. Only thing we're saying is, if our child comes out dark skinned, he gonna be one of them chocolate, sexy, handsome individuals. Simple as that. So yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, because we have to address your question for the
health.
health.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
The one question I had asked our midwife was, because I'm going to lie, y'all. Okay, right now we don't have a car, right? You'll be slouching.
I'm sorry.
Right now we don't have a vehicle. So, I have some things set up for when she goes into, not labor, but when that water break.
Yeah, all of that falls under
for real?
Under labor, just because the baby is everybody thinks that labor is just the pushing part, but labor is like from the beginning to literally
right. So I have some like our the hospital that we are set to deliver the baby at. It's not too far from here, but it's not that close. So being that we don't have a car right now, like I've been thinking of different ways, like different ways that we can kind of use to make sure that we get to the hospital in
different forms of transportation.
Different forms of transportation.
I don't know what he talking
about. I don't know
about.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've been thinking about different forms of transportation so that we can utilize it so that we can go to the hospital when we need to. And I was asking our midwife the other day, like, bro, like, how long do we have until the baby gets here? Like, I'm thinking, like, dang, okay, when that water break, we got X amount of time to get that baby to the hospital before it gets dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But for those dudes out there who may be, overthinking it, our midwife told me that just because your water breaks doesn't necessarily mean that you gotta jet to the hospital right then and there. She said some women, when their water breaks, they get their clothes intact that they need for when they go to the hospital. They maybe even take a shower. Like, you don't have to go straight to the hospital when your water breaks. Of course, it's different for every individual out there, though. It's different. So don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Like, it's different for everyone's body. But that made me feel very comfortable knowing that, hey, relax. When the water breaks, that doesn't mean the baby's about to come out in 2 minutes after that happens. That just means that, okay, it's time for Junior to come. So, head to your hospital and let's make it happen. So I will say what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I kind of have like a personal bag of all the things that we need to have, like upon him getting here, that I can take to the hospital. I'm going to have all of that already set out so that when that water does break, I'm not running around trying to find her a cover or some different clothes, nothing like that. All that's already to the side. Only thing we got to do, if she want to take a shower, if she want to wash up, whatever that may be, we going to make it happen. And then I'm going to go get the rental car or maybe buy a rental car. Or we're going to get to the hospital. Junior's going to get here safe and sound.
I got to watch
Period.
him, though. You tell him you got plenty of time, he will take his...
Nah, not with that. Nah, not with that.
No, but that also helps. I'm glad that he was sleeping like a pregnant woman, but I'm glad he was able to hear the end of the telehealth call because men, sometimes when it's time for birth, they're stressed out, running around like chickens with their heads cut off, stressing.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
And so that makes him feel a little bit better that he, can relax and doesn't have to worry about running and I got to get a car and I got to get this and stuff like that. So he's been educating himself a lot on pregnancy and stuff, and I really appreciate that because some men are very unattentive.
Yeah, she'd be surprised about how much I know about pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I'd be trying to tell her I'm not cut from a different cloth. I'm a different type of dude. Like...
You all right.
Yeah, and plus we planned to have a baby. It's a difference between unexpectedly having a baby and planning to have a baby. This is something that I wanted to do. This is something she wanted to do, so I'm all in with it. Like, why would I plan to have a baby? I'm all in. Why would we plan to have a baby and I'm not educated about something? So I be knowing about some stuff. A lot of you guys out there may be like, what he know about that? I know about some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
What you know about that?
Corny.
Who's that? T.I.
T.I. over there with his son.
Oh, nah, you said that's an ugly boy.
Man, that boy look weird. Anyways.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
About that, I think, also what I was going to point out is know that if you don't have transportation, they also have transportation at the hospital too.
That's good point.
And also when you're going into labor, they have a number too for questions that we're in Seattle, but I'm sure it might be in other states. Though you still have those resources, but you got to see what specific resources you guys have.
Yeah.
A few other things from the telehealth. I'm not gonna go into everything. Don't forget to think about birth control.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, birth control. That's important.
Because you're very, very fertile after pregnancy.
Yep.
That's how people get pregnant back to back, and we ain't trying to do that right now.
Right. So there's that, and also the pediatrician for your baby. So
them shots.
We have. Oh yeah, and make sure you're aware of that too, because our little baby, they said that when he gets here, he's doing a vitamin K shot because babies are very low in vitamin K. Eye ointment because when they're passing through the birth canal or, bacteria, so they get eye ointment when they're born, and also hepatitis B, the vaccination. Thank you. So we got that when we were babies and stuff. I have my immunization record and his is somewhere. But so I'm a little, iffy. We're both like,
Yeah.
which shot? Like they offered
A COVID shot.
the COVID shot, but a RSV shot,
Yeah.
something like that they offered. And we were like, how long has it been around? They were like 2 years.
Ask questions, y'all. Don't just
Yeah.
assume because these people are doctors that you should be getting your child all of these shots. Like, ask questions. Just like she just said, we asked one of our one midwife. She was recommending all these different shots, and she had asked, so how long has this shot been around? She said 2 years. Like, bro, I'm not gonna like infuse our child with a shot that's only been around for 2 years. So like, don't just assume just because they're professionals that you make your own decision when it comes to your child. That's your child. If you don't want your child to have a COVID shot put in them, then don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And they will try to be biased.
They really would, yeah.
And they will try to convince you to do it. Like the COVID shot, they were really trying to convince us to do that.
Up until the point we was like, bro, why are you trying to convince us so much? Like,
right.
That was even kind of sketchy, suspicious.
Yeah, so there's that. Make sure you're on top of it. Make sure you read your My Chart, your notes, your after visit summaries, and all of that, because they put all of that in your after visit summary. What was the other thing? Birth plan. They mentioned that. I don't know if I feel like we've already been establishing a birth plan. Like we already know how we're going to set up things for Junior. We've been rearranging stuff. We already know what we're buying for him. We've already purchased stuff for him.
Yeah.
So and his grandmother, she's such a sweetie pie. She just called today and she purchased him a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of support. Or
Aww.
not a lot of support, but the ones that support us really support us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One last thing I want to say is, I hate when that happens when you forget what you're about to say. Oh, that's what I was about to say. So, I'm not sure whether or not we are planning on doing the parenting classes, but that is a part of your birth plan. You know what I'm saying? So, figure that out too. Like whether or not you want to, get some tips on how to become a parent. I feel like that's never a bad thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's intuition. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I feel like a lot of women feel like that. But there's never nothing. It's never anything wrong with, having some people who've been there, done that, give you some tips. But here's my problem with that. A lot of the people who be teaching stuff like that never even had children before. Like, all of the midwives we've been dealing with, I've yet to see any of them talk about any children. So, not saying that means anything, but I personally would want to deal with somebody who's had children before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between reading and educating yourself about children and actually, like, practicing that, putting it to use with your own children or somebody else's children. But that's neither here nor there. We got to go out here and make this bread.
Yeah, and I think that, I'm going to get him probably Conscious Fathers because that's a very popular class I heard is really good. And it's like $70. And then for me, I want to do the breastfeeding class because I don't know nothing about that.
Exactly.
People ask me, are you going to breastfeed or not? I'm like, well, I got a choice. I thought you're supposed to breastfeed. But yeah, so there are some classes out there that are reasonably priced. The ones that are on the $350 in and stuff, we might have to wait on those.
Everything.
But they're always available. In My Chart, again, after visit summary, our midwife put all of the links to the websites and stuff where you can do parent or choose what parenting classes you want and stuff. But I will say the ones for $350 are packages. Like those are like really, they cover everything. But even the cheaper ones are still good. You got to start somewhere. But
okay. Perfect.
There's that.
All right. So, y'all, we're going to catch you guys in the next video. He said bye. We're going to catch you guys in the next video. Once again, we appreciate you guys for your support. We will start uploading a lot more frequently, especially when Junior is here. Mm-hmm. Sometimes me personally, we have a lot of ideas we want to talk about, but like, I don't want to come off as like this being an educational channel all the time. I just want to just be able to document our journey. You guys just get to see us, a young couple who decided to have a baby, chasing their dreams, and just two imperfect individuals just trying to be the best that we can. I want to record so that you guys can see, so that we eventually can look back and see how everything unfolded. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully these videos will serve as a means of inspiration and or motivation for you guys who are on your own journey, whether that's as a single parent, a couple with a child, multiple children. Yeah, it's already fun being able to look back 5, 6 months ago to see our progression. Like
Yeah.
when she had a small baby bump versus the baby bump now. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool being able to see that. So that's what it's all about. We're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.